was the products in the sweet shop there were familiar. I didn't want to turn the camera on because people don't always like that, street traders. So I'm going now towards the centre. I have forborne to eat anything yet today, even though I used some of my air miles to get into a lounge, and there was free food and drink. I didn't drink alcohol and I didn't eat anything. I just had a coffee, and that was that, because I needed it for the internet mainly, because I've had people wanting things from me all day long, and it's nice, isn't it, up there? But I'm fasting. I'm now on a situation where I'm doing 2 a week. Fridays is a day I'd like to do the second one. It's Tuesdays and Fridays is my default mechanism, but if it doesn't fit, then I do a different day. There's nothing, Roman Catholic about it, as you can imagine. Those of you who know me realise that I'm not a Catholic. I'm rather a Protestant, I would say, but nevertheless, there are two sides to this. So on the one side, you've got this new craze of intermittent fasting, which a lot of people are reporting good results from. So I've got to be part of that, see whether it's going to be whether it will work better than other things. The thing that really decided for me, and I've got one of my subscribers to thank for knowing about it. That's Nimlot Art. He was the one that I think it's a he. He didn't say anything about, or he or she didn't. I mean, this person has not identified themselves as to gender. My assumption has been male. I also have my pet ideas to who it might be, but I'm not at all sure that I'm right. But nevertheless, I don't need to know. Actually, it's not a big deal if this person wants to be more anonymous. That's fine. People can be if they want to be. It doesn't bother me until they start appearing at the steps of my home. But then I've got other defences against that. But basically, no. I mean, I'm not suggesting that Nimlot Art would do this. I mean, under the assumption that it's a he. He's been very helpful in giving me lots of input as to my health, and it's nice going back there in that direction. And one of the things which we've been discussing is this whole fasting matter. In the meantime, well, when I started doing it, I started it just purely from a point of view of, will it work? So let's see if it's a dietary thing. But at the same time, being a Christian, one likes to do everything that one does to God, and as a matter of fact, we should be fasting anyway as Christians, because it's one thing that's in the Bible very clear that fasting goes with prayer, in many cases, and fasting can enrich the prayer life. For many years I wasn't sure about the mix of motives, but there's a lot of things that we do which are both beneficial to us bodily and also good for religion. I mean, resting on the Sabbath is good bodily for a person, for their health. Does that make it worse service to God if you do it? Well, I think that you can expect that if you do something and you put it in the hands of God, that especially if it's something that's actually written in the Bible, that you could expect a blessing from it. I mean, when I was doing veganism, I was looking for support for that in the Bible as well, and certainly the non-eating of pork was good from that perspective. But on the other hand, Christians are not instructed to refrain from pork. Jesus wouldn't have ate pork, so to say, "Oh Lord Jesus, come be a guest at my table," but to eat some things on there that he certainly wouldn't have eaten might be a little bit funny. But on the other hand, the scriptures do say that you can eat. You can eat these non-kosher animals. That's a lovely looking. It's been very much pollarded, this tree, but it's interesting the way the leaves are sort of sprouting up on it at odd places. So I'm walking along here, knowing that the centre's going to be down here.